and welcome to the program Ghana Speaks. I'm grateful that you've made time on this very network. So sorry today. I'm not all that myself because I'm a little bit under the weather. But as always, I have to try my best possible to bring you this very episode. It's going to be very short, and it's about Ghana-Nigeria relationship. Ghana-Nigeria. And a lot of things seem to be coming up that one will have to be very careful. If care is not taken at the end, this will escalate to something that we cannot control. So I'm going to go on certain, points and facts so that at least we'll try our best possible to come to a conclusion that will best assist all of us. So today I'm not going to do the usual action kind of thing, the way you see me, talking with this action, style, because I'm not all that fit today. So we try. Nonetheless, you have to serve you, myself and the team, ably produced by the man Kofi and Samakari. Welcome to the program Ghana Speaks, proudly sponsored by Hawk Investigations in Wako. When it comes to investigations of all kinds, provided it's within their power, that's the company to fall on. That's the Hawk Investigations. Call them on 020-228-3252. So if you have an issue and you want them to investigate for you, that's the company to fall on. Likewise, if you need sand, gravel for building or for construction or for something that has to do with roads or anything that you need, sand for, you have to call Wako. They have excellent prices, and once you call them, they will be there to assist you. So call Wako. Those of you into construction business, call Wako on 0505-714871. Once you call them, they will be there to also assist you. That's 0505-714871. Let's go for commercial. We'll be right back.
In a world where darkness rules, a world without a law, a world where truth is hidden, this is the world where we shine our light to make it better so you can sleep. We are the hunters of truth. Hawk Investigation Company. We hunt for the truth. Call us 0 any day, anytime, and we will be there to hunt.
Welcome back. This is Ghana Speaks. Now, this issue between Ghana and Nigeria must be carefully looked at. It's very important, and I've said it time without number. Personally, I do not have any problem or issue if our Nigerian counterparts in this country decide to celebrate their festival or decide to have someone called a chief. But there are boundaries that one must always respect and look at. Why is it that you come to our country, you know our rules, our laws, and then you come with certain views, you come with certain kind of attitudes that at the end will make people angry. When it comes to celebrating or celebration of festivals, there's a good reason why we celebrate. One, for historical purposes and also for purification. There are some rituals that need to be performed so that at all times those gods of the land in that kingdom, state, country, region will protect the very people and the lands as well. Therefore, when you leave your country and you come to the shores of our country, before you invoke those spirits, before you do anything, before you perform any ritual, you will have to make sure, you consult with the elders of that particular state, town, kingdom, or region in order to be given the permission to know the limits that you can go. The reason why I do not have any problem with anyone celebrating his or her culture in our country is that likewise you have Ghanaians who are doing same abroad. People celebrating festivals and so on and so forth. They are allowed to do so. But at what cost? You understand? At what cost? They do it based on what? The rules and regulations there. So this very Igbo guy, Chukwudi, Ihe and Chu, as some call him Chukudi. I got a pronunciation from an Igbo person. Said it's Chukwu the Ihe and Itu. So that's what I'm going to pronounce it. Ju Chukwu the Ihe and Itu. I would not have had any issue when he calls himself a chief. We could also have chiefs representing the Ghanaian communities in other countries. But this man called himself a king. That became a disrespect to our, kings and chiefs we have in our country. This man equally was seen on video pouring libation. I don't need to repeat those social media videos. And this man called himself a king as well. According to him, he said he never did that. But this very video that you're about watching will give you the idea that he indeed did that. Watch this.
It's a grace that I'm putting on you. That this will attract men for you. Amen. To attract favor. The presence of God will always be upon you. Amen. For an Igbo man, a king, to give this to you, it shows that he loves you.
Now let's take that again.
For an Igbo man, a king, to give this to you, it shows that he loves you.
Again.
For an Igbo man, a king, to give this to you, it shows that he loves you.
Again.
For an Igbo man, a king, to give this to you, it shows that he loves you. Yes. I'm transferring love, Amen. Power, Amen. Strength, Amen. Favor, Amen. Grace of God, Amen. Presence of God Amen. Upon you, Amen. Now forever. Amen. A day will come that you remember this day. Oh, yeah. Of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
We saw him calling himself a king to the extent of blessing someone who happens to be a presidential candidate from another country, in our country. So when the king of the Ghana state decides that he is not going to allow you to celebrate your festival, you have to understand from where he's coming from. It's not about the fact that he doesn't respect your culture. He does. That he is the king of the land. He's entitled to his power, to his opinion. Because in celebrating your yam festival, one, you didn't plant any yam here. That belongs to us. You have to perform rituals. Are you certain that those rituals that you're going to perform will conform with what we have in our country? Will it affect us in any way? You cannot enter somebody's country and begin to pour libation, as you were seeing in the video doing. You can't do that. The current Gamacha happens to be a friend and a brother. There's a popular jingle that runs on multimedia. I'll have to seek his permission before probably I tell him. He was a running mate to Jacob Osei during the days when I was also the communication director. So we are very good friends. But now he's the overlord, so I need to accord him that respect as a king. When it comes to those of us in the voice industry, where we do jingles, voiceovers, and so on and so forth, he's one of the best. So when he got to know that I was also a voice artist, we started discussing. And if I tell you that he's the one behind that voice on multimedia, you'll be like, wow, yes, I have to seek his permission before I can easily let people know. So he's such a wonderful king. But he has the right and the power. You have to understand from where he's coming from. So if you begin to question why he's doing that, or why he called the Yam Festival off, then you need to also ask yourself some questions. Further, as journalists, vloggers, bloggers, whenever you get opportunity to write scripts or say something on public platforms, we need to understand traditions. So for instance, this multimedia guy who made that very statement, the man is the king of the Ghana states, and he has given an order that you should not celebrate your festival. To which, in celebrating your festival, you have to perform rituals, you have to do certain things. So he has given his order. If you, as a journalist or broadcast journalist, are going to explain this to the people, you have the right to say that yes, you agree with what the king has said. Nonetheless, if you had your way, you would have wished that they would have allowed you to do this or that in a very respectable way. But you do not go there and say that it's an embarrassment. Is this? No one is attacking any Nigerian. Look, this fight between Ghana and Nigeria is happening more on social media because my area, we have Nigerians there. No one is harming them. I've always said this, that I don't have any issue or I don't have problems with Nigerians being here. And that's those of you who have been watching my programs, I've added my voice to this very call that I'm not one of those people who are calling for Nigerians to leave or foreigners or whatever. I'm not one of those people, no. So if one Nigerian makes a mistake, then you're going to say that all Nigerians must leave. Equally, you have Ghanaians living in other countries. When President Trump decided to, send some immigrants, all of us were talking. So what gives you the right to also tell other nationals in your country to leave? But the point is this. There are Nigerians in this country committing crimes. Let's look at what happened in Takoradi, the 3 missing girls. A Nigerian was involved. What became of that case? The 2 ladies who were recently, not long ago, how do you call it, kidnapped, they were Nigerians. How did it happen? When we say that, doesn't Ghana also have the same situation? Yes, we do. We are solving it. But how many times do you hear such stories? In Nigeria, it's normal and it's acceptable that on a broad daylight there will be robbery. To the extent that you even acted a movie starring Hanks Anaku and other, stars. Broad daylight like this, and there's robbery going on. That cannot happen in this country. And any day, any time, you hear the name Nigeria, the one thing that comes into mind is ritual killing, scammers, 419, racketeers, this, that. But Nigeria is more than that. That is why when some of you get the opportunity to sit on TV, on radio, you need to make sense and promote that positive side of Nigeria. People do not hate Nigerians because of this or that. People hate Nigerians because of that negative perception. When these things happen, it affects the good ones. Because in this very country, I know of wonderful and beautiful Nigerians who are doing so well. Last time I showed you some pictures. But some of you are making a mess. Now, this Chukwueze Iwe Anitu guy, when he was called upon or called out that he should, leave our country, he made a statement against Hassan Yaruga that he doesn't qualify to be a presidential this or that. Who gives you the right to even interfere in who becomes a leader in our country? Or who gave you that right to say that? So for me, this issue between Igbo, Ghana is something that can be solved easily, provided there's an understanding that there are cultural values, cultural, boundaries. Once that understanding is created, there will be peace. Now, like I was saying, that this battle between Ghana and Nigeria is fought more on social media than the normal, thing. Because, look, trust me, you will never see a Ghanaian attacking a Nigerian. For what? Because he's a Nigerian. No. But the battle is fought more on social media. So if you follow the trends on social media, it becomes more as like Nigerians in Ghana are not safe. But that is not accurate. They are very safe. And in fact, as we speak, they are doing what they do best, like selling, getting involved in other businesses and so on and so forth. But there are some bad ones. When a Nigerian lives in an area, everyone is very careful. Because when it comes to rituals and all those stuff, this is where people, identify them with. And these people who are seen to be the ritualists and so on and so forth, they are seen to be from a Nigerian tribe called Igbo, or the Igbo people, not the Yorubas. And facing or learning about your country looks as if that even in Nigeria, your people do not like the Igbos. But the question is it a fact that all Igbos are this or that? I do not know. But the few Igbos that I personally know, they are very decent people. But the word on the street is that when it comes to, 419, when it comes to rituals, when it comes to scammers, when it comes to this, that, all the negative things, it will be associated with the people from that particular tribe. Now, recently, an appointment was made by President Mahama. This then drew my mind to a publication, or let's say a video that was done by a Nigerian. Then I began to ask a question: do our leaders really pay attention to what happens on social media, or it's just that they don't? And further, do our leaders care about us? Do they listen to what people many a time say? At the time when this Ghana-Nigeria issue is pending, burning, this is the time an appointment has been made by His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama. Now, what did he do? He has appointed Ahmed Rashid Tunde Ali, a Nigerian from the tribe Yoruba, to represent us as the ambassador to UAE. Now, question that comes into mind is, Kojo Choi is a Korean. Kojo Choi was sent as an ambassador to Korea. So if you're going to give this very man an ambassadorial role, why not to Nigeria but to UAE? Again, the question that some people are asking is that UAE happens to be a business hub, the epic center of attraction around the world. So you're giving this kind of power to a Nigerian, a Yoruba. What is the message? Why? But rather, Baba Jamal is saying to, Nigeria. He happens to be a former, I think, deputy general secretary or so, at a particular point in time in the NDC. Now, the question that people are asking is, why President Mahama? Do you listen to the people? At a time when this tension is coming up, this is the time that you're given this appointment. But in any case, I'm going to play you a video of a vlogger who cursed Ghanaians, a very irresponsible vlogger who said a lot of things against the beautiful nation of Ghana. Listen to what he said. Then you come back to this.
Nigerians, it no go better for Ghana. Now me talk it can never be better for them. It no go better for Ghana. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. With this thing where Ghanaians they do. You understand? Every African should not be happy with Ghanaians. Every African. It doesn't matter where you are from Africa, because Ghanaians have just shown us Africans that Ghana, they don't care about Africa. Ghana is not a proud African country. Ghana is not a proud African country. They are just like South Africa. They are almost similar, and they will gradually start enjoying the same thing South Africa is enjoying. White people dominating and controlling, and they are suffering in their country. That's what they are trying to become, in case they don't even know. So Ghanaians, it no go better for now. Let me talk. As a matter of fact, if you don't understand why I'm saying this, then you have to pay keen attention and watch this video very carefully, because Ghana has done something that is very terrible, very disturbing, very aching, and I don't know why Ghanaians are happy with it. That's the funniest part of it. See, the funniest part of it is that after the nonsense has happened, many Ghanaians, they don't seem to have any problem with it.
We heard him. He said it will never be war with us because of Kojo Choi. So I'm hoping to see him come back to retract and apologize, and also to say something about this very appointment given to this very Tunde man, who's now going to be Ghana's ambassador to UAE. UAE, United Arab Emirates. That is where Dubai is. So one will ask the question, what is the reason behind this very call, or this very move? Is the president listening to the people who are calling on him that the bad nuts should be sent who? Is it to let the Ghanaians understand that, look, I'm not going to listen to all this Ghana. What really is the message? Disappointment. Like I said, I do not have any problem because equally you have Ghanaians in other countries who are serving in high offices, and I applaud those people for that. UK, we had Quaten and other places as well. I mean, Irama from Porn also in the States, who blocked Trump's, something on immigration. All of them are Ghanaians. So if you give such appointment to other African nationals in Ghana who are by birth of another country, but by nationality they are Ghanaians, why not? It's something that we applaud the president for. But this guy made a statement against us. Do our leaders really listen? No one is against Nigerians. But what we are saying is that look at the fact, the evidence, the pieces of evidence that is before you. Listen to the people, those calling on you that drive some of the Nigerians away. Listen to them. That doesn't mean that all Nigerians, because why would you say that all Nigerians must go? What has the Nigerian High Commissioner done? There are good Nigerians here. But for me, this should even go beyond Nigerians. We have foreigners in this country who are committing crimes. Visit some Chinese restaurants. Visit some Lebanese shops. And all these people are in our country and they see themselves as gods. Yet we say Ghana is a country that accepts all and sundry. Our hospitality is top notch. Now in Scotland, the Kubala state or the Kubala kingdom, Kofi Ofer, or that Ghanaian who calls himself a king, we've seen what has happened to him. He's been arrested. Obviously, the guy mentally is not fit. They decided to pay attention to that. So when someone who, is seen as a guest in our country, or someone who is a guest in our country, comes up to say that he's a king and denies, and begins to, praise himself begins to behave as if the country belongs to him, it becomes a responsibility of the government to listen to the people. I'm about to end the show. I'm going to call on the President of the Republic to listen humbly to our plea, that carefully look at what is happening in our country. As you can see on the screen, the Nigerian immigration are saying that there are people who are for the state, therefore they are going to drive them away. This is a fact. They are saying that those people are for the state in Nigeria. Why don't we do the same? So this is not a fight against Nigerians. It's a fight against people who are for the state. Now sometimes you decide to crack the whip like that, then you begin to also think about your people outside. Then you decide to do the same to them. What do you think will happen? That is why we temper justice with mercy. That is why you need to look at the situation well and look at those who are committing crime and those who are really helping the economy to grow. One Nigerian visits your house or tells you that he wants a place to rent. The next minute, some way, somehow, they become like X-Men, 5, 6 in number. Why? Ghana is a free land. So the question that I'm asking is, this Nigerian appointment, was it done because the president has a particular interest in Dubai, UAE, and all those things, or what? I do not know. But Tunde now is Ghana's ambassador to UAE, and we're all going to accept it because that's a presidential order. I thank you very much for making time on our show today. I'm going to leave you with this very video of a Nigerian priest calling on all and sundry to drive Nigerians away because of the image they've created. You, this very vlogger, the irresponsible vlogger, when you get the opportunity to be on screen next time, make sure you brand your country well. Make sure you speak with wisdom. Don't say things that will get people angry. After saying all those things, because Kodichoro will give you an appointment, are you going to say same now that Nigeria has been given an appointment? That's a matter for you to decide. My name is Enoch Ije. We're going to continue some other time. And good Lord bless you, and bye.
When you appoint a leader that is dull, everybody in that nation will look as if they are dull. But Nigerians are brilliant people. In all the university in America, Nigeria, they are top notch. But their leader, they are dull. No brain of businesses, no brain of future, no brain of infrastructure, no brain of raising people, but they have only brain to steal money. And that's why you see Nigerians everywhere and nobody want to see green passport again. I pray one day that the whole nation will say they don't want Nigeria again. You know why? That prayer God will answer it, so that Nigerians will go back home. Necessity is the mother of invention. So that they would